Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? It is Thursday, October 28th. It has to be Thursday because I am speaking to you at 7 a.m. and not our normal time of 7:30. The reason we have this one exception on Thursday, if you don't know, is one of our 8 multimillionaires that we speak to each week needs to talk at 7:30 versus everyone else can make 8 or 9. So we just do our daily financial news show at 7 instead of 7:30 on most Thursdays. So if you like getting your financial news in little chunks, do me a favor, hit subscribe, notifications, comments, thumbs up, all of that great stuff. It would greatly help the channel. And again, I've been doing these daily shows for more than 2 years. And by daily, yes, we also mean Saturday and Sunday. A couple quick things as we get going this week. I just want to say that this has been a very slow week. Normally, if you look at Sunday when I report my positive impact score, this community of one rental at a time is doing between 8 and 16 deals. And as of this week, we've only done 2 so far. So hopefully we're going to close strong. I love sending these out. Easy grader. For those of you asking about Happy and Sunny, my 2 precious Shih Tzu puppies, it is early for them. They are asleep right over there. I'm not going to wake them up because I don't want to deal with that. So we will show them normal mornings, but not on Thursday. So thank you for that. I do appreciate asking. They are a true joy. When we talk about the daily financial news, it is Thursday, so let's talk about what we've been talking about every Thursday for seemingly 2 years, and that is jobless claims. Weekly jobless claims continuing the downward trend. The new low of the period is 281,000. That is lower than expectation of 289, and yet lower than last week at 291. So generally speaking, the jobs market is continuing to heal. It will be interesting to see what kind of job creation we have in early November, the first Friday in November. So that will be very interesting. We did get U.S. GDP for Q3, and it was disappointing, right? Expectations were for a pretty weak number of 2.8%. We came in significantly under that. GDP growth, it was positive, came in at 2%. But here's the deal. Remember our conversation about Q2? I believe Q2 GDP was like 4%, but inflation was 6%. Right? Was that truly a positive number? There were questions about, hey, is GDP inflation adjusted? It is not. It is a nominal number. So inflation above GDP, is it truly growth? And I bring that up because, again, Q3 is going to look really weak when you inflation adjust it. Again, Q3 GDP came in at 2%. Inflation, or what the Fed calls PCE, personal consumption expenditures, was 5.3. 2%, 5.3. Not good. Not good. Some other stuff that we found. Let's see. Where do we want to go? Oh, we it looks like not only do we have supply chain issues and rising fuel costs. I posted a picture on my Instagram page. I filled up my tank, $5.20 a gallon. Yes, folks, I am in California, so I have that sunshine tax. But damn, $5.20 to fill up for 1 gallon of gas. Crazy. Looks like we need to pray for a warm winter. For those of you on the East Coast or Midwest where you have heating oil to keep your house warm, we need to pray for a warm winter because heating costs are already up 30% and futures contracts point to even higher prices. Barrels of oil are at $85 and going higher. It could be a very expensive winter. Higher heating costs, higher food costs, higher gasoline, higher. This is going to impact a lot of people. Inflation is a tax. It just is. And unfortunately, it is not a tax that is fair, right? It taxes everyone. And unfortunately, the folks with the least amount of means get hurt the most. There are already people having to make choices at the grocery store. Instead of buying beef, they buy chicken. Instead of buying name brand cereal, they buy store brand. It is going to get worse, right? This inflation is not transitory. I've been telling you that for quite a while. And I think it will go on much, much longer than people think. In fact, Blackstone is out kind of looking at Europe. Europe, specifically the UK, if you don't know, has had a terrible time with gas shortages and the like. Blackstone is warning the US or Americans that it's not crazy to think about that if we have a particularly hard or nasty winter, that could come home to roost as our supply of just all things oil, including heating, natural gas, all of that is not where it used to be, and will lead to significant inflation. This could really again hurt, quote unquote, the poor. It is very clear, I think, that rates are going to go higher. The question is how high and how fast. I get that question all the time, so let me just tell you, I have no idea. I can tell you that I think rates will be higher at the end of December than today. They'll be higher at the end of the following December than this December. I think we've seen the 40-year low. Then the question becomes, how high can they go? I've done some research, and again, we talked about with the lumberjack on Tuesday. The interesting thing about interest rates in the 70s doubling, they went from 8 to 16. That sounds crazy. But if we bring that back here and we go from 3 to 6, we might be able to see what could happen. And I bring this up because, again, a viewer of this channel sent the data to me. I brought up the data. I probably will bring it up again today with Jonathan Twomley, our 7:30 guest. Here is the deal. Interest rates on the 30-year doubled. What happened? Well, prices never went negative, but they did slow down. What really happened, folks? Transactions. Transactions were cut in half. When you look at my 50-year spreadsheet, which again, I give away to all of you. It's in my free course. It's in the paid course. It's there. Look at it. Absorb it. It is very interesting to see that prices did not go negative when interest rates doubled. How many people in the news media are saying, watch out for interest rates, it's going to crush housing? Will it really? Or will the rich, the K-shaped economy, will they still buy and we will just see transactions fall? Interesting thing to think about. So a couple of other things, again, talking about the 1970s, and I certainly will bring this up with Jonathan Twomley today, and that is there's talk about we can't be in the 70s because we don't have an oil embargo. We don't have an oil issue, right? We don't have OPEC doing what they did. Here's the deal. I think people are being too literal when they look at the 70s to today. They want to see a commodity shock. And what I would tell you is you're looking for the wrong, you're being too literal. Did you know? I'm going to suspect 80% of you did not know this. You probably all know there was an oil embargo and the Saudi Arabia and the like were playing games. You remember the old gas lines, you've probably seen pictures. It only lasted 4 months. A 4-month oil embargo caused a decade of inflation. Interesting. Now I ask you, instead of looking for oil or lumber or some commodity to be that spark, what if I told you we've already had it? And it's not really a commodity per se, but you can sort of look at it as one, and that is labor. We are essentially having a multi-year labor adjustment. And as I have said repeatedly, this is going to be years in the making. This is not a 4-month oil embargo. This is going to be a multi-year union, first time employment. It's just going to work up the stack. Yeah, wages, employment, employees, they have the power. They are the constraint. They have very little switching costs. They can go from Taco Bell to McDonald's or Hilton to Marriott or whatever, Delta to United, whatever the change is. Employees got the power. It is going to take years to work out. And this is why I'm confident that inflation is going to be 2020. Couple of earnings to talk about today. Yum Brands, KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. KFC, Taco Bell, good. Pizza Hut, bad. Still collectively beat earnings. Ford beat top and bottom. Raised guidance. Ford interestingly said, you know what? We're starting to get some chips. Could be good for all manufacturers. Twilio beat top and bottom but gave weak guidance. They were down 10% last time I checked. eBay beat top and bottom but again gave weak guidance. They were down as well. Caterpillar, that's an interesting one. Caterpillar is interesting because about a quarter of their business comes from China. So I haven't looked at the details yet. I will try to do that this afternoon. They missed top line, so think revenue. They beat bottom line, think earnings. But they did say there's elevated demand. I'm not sure where that's coming from. It can't come from China, right? I mean, geez, what's going on with property development there? I wonder where it's coming from. So we're going to have to figure that out. Looks like, so MetLife did a survey that I found was interesting. It highlighted that 2/3 of the women who have left the workforce because of health concerns, child concerns, whatever it is, 2/3 of the women are looking forward to coming back. So that could be a nice boomerang for the employment picture. Probably into next year. I mean, if you're sitting here now and it's almost November, just my opinion, you probably take the holidays off. Again, who knows, but that's what I'm thinking. So maybe we have a nice employment boost after New Year's. Maybe. We'll see. Interestingly enough, of those 2/3 that are looking to come back, 56% are seriously considering changing careers. I think that's one thing that's happened across the board. A lot of people are asking themselves, do I really want to do this or that the rest of my life? It's a reasonable conversation. And then lastly, I want audience participation. Get ready. I want to hear from you on this question. It's a 3-part question. You're going to pick one of the 3 things. And again, leave comments below. Richard Bernstein, billionaire, big investor, blah, blah, blah. He says there are 3 things that are in a dangerous bubble. I want to know from you which one you think is in the most danger of popping, exploding, crashing, whatever that word is. Richard Bernstein says Bitcoin, housing, and some parts of tech. So I want to hear from you. Which one do you think personally is in the biggest bubble? Actually, you know what? There's only 3. Let's rank them. Biggest bubble to least concern. Bitcoin, housing, I don't know. I'm going to guess it's high multiple tech stocks. What do you think? And if you don't think any is a bubble, no problem. Let's just have some fun. Let's get the comments going. Let's see what all of you think. Again, leave comments below and we will ask that. And then the closing thought. It now looks like we have some calculations on what % of workers will quit over these vaccine mandates. This is important because as Southwest Airlines showed us so clearly just 3 weeks ago, I think, that when a relatively small percentage of your employment base decides they don't want to play ball, which is their right, they can really snarl traffic. So if we had this happen in shipping or trucking or airlines or anything, it really could wreak havoc. They are saying that at least 5% of our workforce will quit over the vaccine mandate if their employers force it. That is an exact example of what is going on in today's economy. The employees have all the power. If we were in a high unemployment, risky environment, it probably wouldn't be that high. But yes, folks, 5% of the folks will quit. And I wouldn't be shocked if it's higher than that. It could be as high as 10 or 15%. Those numbers in a very constrained, rubber band tight economy could really cause some unexpected consequences that could be particularly nasty. So again, that's where we were at. Again, I think the big number of the day is GDP for Q2 is 2%, where inflation is 5.3. Not getting better anytime soon. Have a wonderful day, folks. We got so much going on today. I got Jonathan Twomley. I got an 8:30 guest. I have an economist from Boise, or from Idaho. We're going to talk about Boise real estate at 9. And of course, your favorite Three Amigos at 12:30. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Again, remember, what's the biggest bubble? Bitcoin, housing, high leverage, high multiple tech stocks. Have a great day. Bye.